Hidden beneath Africa's ancient cliffs lies a deep, narrow ravine, an earthly kingdom for countless Cape Cobras. Few creatures ever dare to enter this forgotten world, and even fewer leave it alive. Above the abyss, life remains peaceful. A honey badger mother patiently teaches her innocent cub how to recognize scents, dig for hidden prey, and survive the harsh, unforgiving wilderness. Suddenly, an agama lizard darts across the rocks. Excited by instinct, the naive cub chases it without hesitation, completely forgetting every lesson about unstable ground and lurking danger. The crumbling ledge suddenly gives way beneath tiny paws. Stones cascade into the abyss as the terrified cub falls, its panicked cries echoing endlessly between the towering, silent cliffs. The mother's heart stops. She rushes to the edge, but fights the urge to jump blindly. Her sharp eyes desperately scan the cliffside, determined to find a path to her helpless cub. Far below, the cub survives, but cannot stand. Shocked and exhausted, it lies motionless among broken stones, completely unaware that a silent shadow of death is already sliding closer. A young Cape Cobra emerges from the dark, tasting the air. Sensing the vulnerable prey, the cold-blooded predator wastes no time, striking the helpless cub with lightning-fast, astonishing speed. The cub's struggles slowly fade away. Its tiny body grows entirely still beneath the towering cliffs, while the deadly young cobra quietly slithers back into the endless dark stone maze. Meanwhile, the frantic mother descends along narrow ledges. Suddenly, a young Cape Cobra blocks her path, raising its lethal hood to threaten her inside the tight, inescapable passage. Without a second of hesitation, one explosive lunge ends the threat instantly. But as silence falls, dozens of hidden cold eyes appear from distant cracks, locking onto the intruder. She surges forward, leaving danger behind. Every second wasted in battle steals precious time from her dying cub. Ahead, that fading heartbeat is the only thing driving her relentless steps. Two Cape Cobras emerge simultaneously, swaying to strike. With incredible agility, the mother slips perfectly between them, refusing a fight to save the fleeting moments her cub has left. She hesitates for just a fraction of a second. Holding her breath, she steps straight through the writhing nest, moving with astonishing precision as venomous snakes slide around her feet. Finally, she finds her cub. It lies unmoving, its small chest rising with only the faintest breath. But all around it, fresh tracks reveal an army of cobras gathering closely. One hood rises, then another. Soon, a legion of silent guardians emerges from every crevice, forming a deadly, tightening ring around the helpless cub, ready to defend their dark domain. Furious and heartbroken, the mother lowers her head and charges. There is no detour left. Between her and her precious cub stands only a lethal, tightening circle of venomous cobras. The first snake strikes. She swats it away. A second attacks, and she counters instantly. Red dust erupts into the air as the narrow ravine explodes into a violent, chaotic battle. More cobras pour from the shadows. She absorbs every deadly risk, fiercely refusing to back down, while her motionless cub lies just a few desperate, agonizing steps away. Breaking through, she reaches her cub, gently grasping its limp body. Countless hoods rise in unison. The rescue succeeded, but the escape will be a true descent into hell. Clenching her unconscious cub, The mother sprints toward the distant exit. Behind her, a relentless tide of Cape Cobras floods from the cracks, multiplying with every desperate stride she takes. Snakes dart across the narrow path. Others drop from broken ledges above. Every twisted corner hides a new ambush, aiming to trap the exhausted mother before she can see daylight. The pursuit is relentless. She dodges venomous strikes, squeezing through impossibly tight, jagged rock walls, but never once does she loosen her protective grip on her dying cub. Loose rocks crash down beneath her pounding paws, the sound thundering through the canyon. The noise awakens the entire cobra kingdom, spreading the frantic chase further down the endless ravine. Suddenly, the ground vanishes. A deep, gaping chasm splits the earth. Across the abyss lies a fragile, rocky ledge, the single, narrow lifeline left to reach safety. She pauses for barely a heartbeat. The deadly wave of hoods closes in behind her. There is no longer a choice between safety and danger, only between soaring or failing completely. Channeling her absolute last ounce of strength, she launches herself across the terrifying void. For one breathless, suspended moment, mother and cub float silently above the bottomless abyss. She lands with heavy grace on solid rock. The pursuing cobras halt at the cliff's edge, forced to watch their elusive prey escape across a gap they cannot bridge. Reaching the open, sunlit ground at last, her body finally surrenders. She gently sets her cub down and collapses, not from fear, but from pouring out her very soul to save it. As dusk blankets the rugged cliffs, the cub slowly opens its eyes beside its unmoving mother. In the wild, courage brings survival, but profound love gives that courage its meaning. A faint breath rises, then another. Slowly, the exhausted mother opens her eyes, meeting the gaze of the cub she never abandoned. Despite the unimaginable storm, their journey continues. In the wild, countless mothers desire nothing greater than another sunrise beside their young. True courage here is not the instinct to fight, but the ultimate choice to protect at all costs.